Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Talkin Town. My name's Adam, and I'm joined by one of my constant co-hosts, Steven. Steven, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well, all things considered. You know,
Hmm.
work's been kicking my butt this month, but for the first time, I feel like I can breathe a little bit.
Hey, you know what? We are recording at 10:30 on Wednesday. I just finished watching Survivor, so there's really no better time to talk some SWU. We've been on kind of a hiatus for a while. What have you been up to?
Yeah, I mean, I know we've been on a little bit of a hiatus. Not so much from playing SWU, maybe for a little bit. I know, both you and me got involved in Riftbound there towards the end of
Mhm.
last year. But I mean, at least for now, 100% of my card game, uh, I guess talents
Yeah,
have been re focused on SWU. So
same, honestly, and it feels really nice because I mean we both had a good time in Riftbound. There's a great community here. The game itself has some issues, but also some very high highs in what I felt like we were playing. But I don't know. I couldn't shake the feeling. I was just kind of missing some of my SWU folks, and just I was in school. I was taking classes. That's the primary reason why I was gone for so long, but wanted to try something different. The end of the last season, not season, I guess. After Legends of the Force and how Hantu Blue just kind of ran rampant, and then the heroic green blue meta were some of my least favorite things. But that's just me. But and
yeah.
then rotation came around, and I was like, all right, let's jump on board, jump back in, and here we are. So
Yeah. Yeah, rotation definitely helped I think reinvigorate a number of people, just a fresh
yeah,
start.
it's it's hobbies are great. Some things you can do by yourself. You can't play a card game by yourself. And in all honesty, uh, it's just the people that I care about too. Like even if things don't go well in the game, I'm having fun with the
Yeah.
people along. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, we had a lot of Omaha folks. I'm sure you guys will see in the thumbnail here. Go to a planetary qualifier this last weekend, and we're gonna kind of talk about that and see what kind of went on. Even it's been a long time since we've uh talked about the decks we've brought to a tournament, but you literally can't bring Ray. So, what did you play?
I played, as everyone calls it, Ray 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I exchanged one blue experience leader for another. And no, it is not Leia. It is Vel Sartha. Um, so yeah, I've been playing that just because
What color
I like it a
combo?
little bit more than Leia. I think Leia deck building wise restricts you in a way that isn't something that I'm fond of. Makes you have to build your deck weirdly and not play the best cards all the time. So yeah, going with Vel, and I think it's a little bit of a little challenge in and of itself because you got to play the game of when can I give you a credit. So there's always the expression there, and maybe it's not always visible, but there are certain instances where you're like, oh yeah, I lost because I gave you a credit. So it's a nice little challenge.
I've played against it quite a bit from you. the the amount of credit hate you also have built into the list is it's both like, haha, you have to use your own card slots to make your leader worse, but also thanks for the token that I just don't get to use. So, blue green, because you're in Data Vault, right?
Yep.
Yeah, blue green heroic. You just couldn't get away. But no,
No, it's that mid range style that I really like. Gives I think it just provides the most flexibility across all game
I'd say
game states and matchups.
as long as we've been playing, you've been a value oriented player, and
Yeah.
nothing values anything more than just out trading your opponent. Even if the meta doesn't favor it, like kind of like what we're dealing with right now, it's a play style that you've practiced a long time.
Yep.
I brought. It's probably not a surprise very much anymore, but intro battle HOTH Vader. I played it with Yellow 30. I'll probably make a video about it for those who are wanting to see more, just separate to this, because honestly, the whole day, not just like the deck choices that we made, was good for our corner of the SWU universe. The Omaha Alliance came out and took it by storm. We had our very own Daniel Hall and Alex Anderson in the finals, Daniel taking it. I got top 4. We had Michael get top 8. And who else? Am I forgetting anybody else in the top 8?
We just had 4 OA guys.
4, okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
John and I bubbled out.
That's right. That's right. That was still crazy. Congratulations to the other guy who made top 8. I believe his name was Nate. But that was a crazy differential jump in standing. Yep. And then you and John got 9th and 10th, which was wild to watch because you were both on table 5. And I was like, okay, one of you is probably playing for in, just statistically speaking. But the differential dump from the table 6 guy pushed him all the way to 8th, right?
I think he was, because I think he might have been at table like 9. Because I was at table 5, John was at
9?
Table 6.
Ooh, it's 18.
Or that would have been table 8, right?
Yeah, so 15, 16.
Table 8. Yeah, but it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out exactly that way. I think he was like 13th or something in the going into the final round, and then he jumped to 8 after that final round.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
still just wild. We should probably start from the beginning of the tournament at least, just for a little bit more of a recap. How did your Swiss run go?
So Swiss run went a little wonky. I mean, round 1 I ended up playing a Avar yellow, which I'd been able to at least get a little bit of practice into Avar green with one of our locals, Marcus. So a little bit of familiarity with how I have to play that, because otherwise I feel like I would have been a little in the dark, and I feel like one of my strengths is just kind of knowing how to approach a matchup a lot of the time. Then I played into one of our other locals, Landon. He was there for fun. He was playing Admiral Trench Data Vault.
Hey, he was the former Lincoln Planetary qualifier.
Yeah, he was the former winner.
He had to make a comeback.
Yeah, so I played him, unfortunately, but I pulled that one out. Then probably one of my trickier matchups was I played against a Sabe Data Vault. And yeah, that was a little bit tricky. I barely lost out on game 1. He hit me with the what was it? The card where you attack with 2 new units and then like they get +2 or whatever. So he hit me for Tandem Assault. Yeah, he hit me with a Tandem Assault for a lot to kill me. Otherwise I kill him like next action, I think.
You didn't predict the Tandem Assault.
Well, or no, it wasn't that. I think he commenced. Yeah. Game 1, he commenced me for game. It was sorry, he commenced me for game.
Festivities.
Yeah, commenced the festivities. He played it out of aspect.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was what got me. Now I remember, because I remember him asking, "How many resources are you at?"
Yeah. Oh,
so
the moment.
Yeah, so he got me there, and then I was able to pick up the next 2 games. Still very close, very nerve-wracking. It felt really bad seeing him constantly take out all my removal cards on the top of my deck. But I think game 3, at the end of the game, I had 3 Chandrillan sponsors on the ground, so that was that kind of helped hold my own a little bit. So
nasty.
Yeah.
In a Data Vault deck too.
Well, I think I had 2 of them, and then I hit the 3rd with Kellerin.
Oh, okay. At least,
So
but still naturally
yeah.
curving your fantastic restore unit.
Well, it
You
wasn't even like on curve either. I did not play them on
oh
curve. It was like disjointed
ah
through the turns, like so yeah.
I
But
did.
yeah.
You slow down
After
their
that, I
damage
played.
raise.
Yeah, it does slow it down. Thankfully, he didn't have Chewbacca in any of the games. He never played it.
So were you
Um,
3-0 at this point then?
so I'm 3-0 at this point out of 6
Okay.
rounds. Just got to win
Yeah.
one more to then be able to ID out. I played another local, Michael Abraham, who ended up making top 8. He was playing Leia Data Vault.
Yes.
Um, this was literally the one matchup in the top
Table.
of the remaining undefeateds that I didn't want to play because I had not played the matchup before, and I felt like, I mean, we kind of want to do the same thing. A lot of
Hmm.
it is. So it's kind of just dependent on who can go a little bit taller, who's built to play the longer game. I think he might be a little bit more suited to cheese out a win, just because of Leia's disguise and shields and stuff like that. I think his leader is a little bit more effective in that regard. He's got some more closers, but
Leia's
he ended up,
disguise is such a powerful swing in that
yeah,
matchup.
yeah,
In a
it was a
format.
problem.
Yeah.
He ended up taking it 2-0. I mean, game one, I I'm trying to even remember. Like, I just don't think that I had a good curve out. I think my like 4-drop play was uh I think I had to protect the pod off of my like Lots Razi with 2 health to kill
Ooh.
to break a shield and then
Oh.
trade into a thing. So like, and then he had Typho that turn, so it was like, it was just really wasn't good. Um I think I probably just wasn't playing the matchup correctly, but I hadn't played it. It was like the one undefeated deck remaining that I just didn't know how to approach the matchup. Like the remaining other things were you. Um I think there was like
Daniel.
an Aura Data Vault,
Yeah.
maybe another one. There
Yeah.
was Daniel
And
who won with Piet red. So like
mhm.
I would have been familiar with those. I like my Aura matchup very much, so it was just like the one. And then game 2 it went really badly. I shouldn't say it went really badly, but we had to like revert a game state because there was a Galen active, and then we just both forgot
I
about the Galen call.
yeah, I was sitting
And
right next to you guys when I saw
yeah,
the in shambles feeling between the both of you. And
right,
it
yeah,
sucks. It sucks, but at least like you're able to rebuild the game state mutually between the two of you to figure out what went wrong. A, but also B, like, just got to remember that there's interactions that are, especially Galen and regional, anything that calls a card like that is,
yeah,
it's very important to have some kind of notice or something, even just a piece of
yeah.
paper.
Because it was like on board for like 2 or 3 turns. It got played because I think he flipped his leader. Galen called protect the pod, so I couldn't just immediately out it. Um, and that was kind of just the difference maker. And then like 2 turns later or something like that, I tried to protect the pod again, and then we recognized it later, so we had to revert. It was a little also unfortunate because like we only reverted to the point where I played it, and so
Not,
like
yeah.
I would have played out my turn differently and would have resourced differently if I was
Yeah.
still aware, still tracking that. So that's on me. But it's also unfortunate because he calls protect the pod, and then like in the subsequent turns, I proceed to see all 3 protect the pods. So you
This is
gotta
the
love
way.
that element of it. So it is whatever. But so he got it. Props to Michael there. Um, then
Huge
the
props.
next,
He's been
yeah.
playing that deck for a while too.
Hmm.
So I know he's not here tonight, which is unfortunate because we are recording so late. But we'll get
Right.
we'll get to it.
Yeah. After that, I then played Alex Anderson, who
Hmm.
made the finals. He's similar to you with your unique top 8, or well, top 4 finish. He was playing Maul Virgin's Temple.
And let me tell you about that.
Oh boy. That it was. I looked at that and I'm like, okay, it's only 25 health. Sure, yeah, I think we can manage this. I think
No.
it'll be fine. Game 1, it was just not a good start. It was bad. So I like get my opening hand. I don't have a 2-drop play, I think, and then I mulligan, and then I get like I don't know, like a 7 and a 6 drop. Um, and then I think I drew like 4 2 drops or like 2 true.
Ooh.
I don't know, just not a curve out.
Yeah, yeah.
And just even the way that I drew in the subsequent turns, my turn 1, 2, and 3 were all 2 drops, and that was it. So I was just behind the curve like the whole game. Um, and I'm trying to even remember exactly like it. I got behind on health because of that. Like that was the big thing. I just got behind on health, and then he eventually was just able to, uh, swing, and it was a problem. Game 2, I won.
It gets out of hand
Yeah,
insanely quickly with his
it
deck.
gets out of hand. Like I had kind of almost stabilized, but I just had too much damage on me, and it was just I couldn't recover that quick, enough with that much sitting damage. Game 2, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was a pretty quick game that I was able to pull back, um, if memory serves. And then game 3, I mean, it's you could say I probably should have played it differently. It's a tough call. Um, Well, in his Maul deck, as you do, you're playing Darth Revan's lightsabers
Hmm.
for the grit, and he's also playing Shadow Cloaking, which gives his unit a shield and readies it. So, when he flipped his Maul, he before attacking Shadow Cloaked it, just to put a shield on it,
Yeah.
and then I think he put the
That
Revan's
6 HP
lightsaber
is a
on it.
little bit of a liability.
Yeah. So like I was able to take off the shield that turn. Um and then, we do some hit back and I'm at now 14 damage on my data vault base. Following turn, I have initiative, I believe. Do I? Uh no, I don't have initiative. But he attacks with Maul and then I run my Vel leader into his Maul. Um to not kill it. It deals 6
Mhm.
damage to it. It lives with 2 HP. Because I'm like, okay, he's played a shadow cloaking. Do I risk the second shadow cloaking? And I decided to risk the shadow cloaking. And he had a second shadow cloaking, and then he readied it, got a shield, hit me for 14 to put me at 28. Um, and yeah, it was kind of just not recoverable from that point.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you can't lose half your base HP in one swing and be like, "Oh, this is okay. This is okay."
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could remember the sequence a little bit better to see, but I'm try I can't remember exactly what it was. I think he had no damage on his base. I was at 14, so and I didn't have any sentinels either, so I'm like, well, I have to out his leader here because, I had seen in previous games that he's playing like other upgrades, I think he was
Mhm.
playing Battle Fury, he was playing Sith Holocron, like he had hit me for, even 13 in a previous game without Shadow Cloaking. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it was just guess I made a bad, an incorrect call there. So he ended up pulling that out, and then final round, I ended up playing Alec, who's I think he's technically a part of the Spacers, Central Spacers, and he was playing Aura Data Vault, which I find to be a pretty good matchup for me. So I was able to take that down in 2 games,
This
and
is round 5. Yeah.
this would have been round 6, the
And you
final round
played
against.
John? Oh, no, you didn't play John last
No,
round.
no, he was
Sorry,
next
sorry.
to me.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was next to me. So, so yeah, that's where we were at. So it was X2. We kind of had done the math. We knew at least one X2 was going to make it into top cut.
Mhm.
Going into that last round, I was the second highest seeded X2, and the other one was like 15% opponent match win percentage ahead. So, and he was playing because I was playing in X11.
Yeah, that was TFK.
Um, and
There's
then he
Matt.
was playing, yeah, he was playing Matt, the other X11, in that round. And so Matt beat him. So he moved down to X3. So I would have, then still
Mhm.
been that highest one at that given point. But yeah, then the guy that ended up making top 8, he jumped like 7% on his opponent match win percentage or something. Like every single opponent that he played in the tournament won that final round. So
which
um
just is
yeah.
statistically crazy. But
Yeah, it's
you
tough.
know, it's melee's gonna melee, man, and so is
Mhm.
card
Yeah.
games.
And yeah, and like I'm put myself in a tough scenario because obviously most of my opponents are just going to ID the final round. So I'm
Mhm.
they're there's that. And then John, who was sitting next to me, we were going back and forth because we were sure it was going to be one of us because we were like within a percentage of one another. And yeah, he ended up jumping me anyways. He got ninth at his first ever PQ.
Right?
Really first competitive event at
For,
all.
yeah, I was to say we haven't had a store showdown yet for this set, and he
No,
started right at rotation. So
yeah.
uh,
So props there, John. Good job.
yeah, we have a lot of shout
Good
outs
run.
this episode.
Yeah, very good run. Um, and yeah, that was kind of my event. Yeah.
Looking
You
back,
want to run
I
through
mean, yeah, I
or go
will.
ahead?
I mean, did you have any things you'd change?
Um, I mean,
You were 3-0,
so
so it's not like you just, and it's also
yeah.
like you didn't clutch out because like you got to the record that could have made the cut. It's just
Yeah, I don't think there's really much that I would have changed. I mean, I definitely think that there could have been stuff changed, primarily in round 5 there. I think round 5 against the Mall Virgins, I could have played better, particularly in game 3. I don't think that I could have really done anything else in game 1. Game 1 was just pretty bad start. And then against Michael Abraham, um, I mean, he just played it right. I was still a little uh not familiar with it.
that's fair.
Um, so
It's
I mean,
selectively popular right now. There's some people
yeah,
who are
it's
piloting that deck very, very well with a lot of reps. And Michael's, like I said, he's been on it for a few months now, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. Yeah, and like even just theoretically, I see it being a tricky matchup because um, you know, in those matchups where they're kind of doing the exact same thing you are, we're playing a lot of the same
Hmm.
cards. It's a lot scarier to give him a credit to uh jump a turn. uh so like on leader flip, even I want to flip my Vel attack, and you pretty much always want to buff it, especially when they're
Yeah.
flipping Leia, and they're going to probably buff it, right? But if I give a credit, um and my leader doesn't live and theirs does, or they both live, well, then you got to look at the following turn and it's like, well, what are they going to do? Well, they're going to 7 resources. Most obviously, they're going to play Kellerin, and now if I give them a credit, then they can play like a Typho in front of it. Um,
Yeah. Or just
so
even like you're both on Data Vault decks too. So it's like you hit your turn 1 unit and you're playing this dangerous game of who has the Latsarasi to begin like building tempo first. And then after that, it's like who hits the Sentinel to curve out upwards. And can you modify their HP? And yeah, Vel's ability becomes probably a little bit worse in that matchup than Leia's by a good margin.
yeah,
But
that's kind of the trick. Like I think the Leia is just a slightly better suited for um playing a standard game. I think if the Leia gets uh, interfered with, it's harder for them to recover just because I think their Leia ability then isn't as effective. If they have to play a little bit out of place because they
mm,
can't buff, but and they may have to hold cards that aren't as useful in a given scenario. So like if I'm able to establish a pretty clear advantage, I think it's a little bit harder for them to recover than it is for me. But yeah, it was just I think a lot of it was I just didn't really have a turn 3 play that was that great ever. So it is what it is. The one thing that I guess I changed after the Lincoln PQ from the list is, you mentioned that I was playing a lot of credit hate. Uh, I was playing the Conveyance Security Captain, which just turns off all credits. I found it pretty good in a lot of particular scenarios. Like in a lot of the aggro matchups, for example, if you're able to drop that, especially behind a sentinel like Typho the following turn, or even just that turn, and buff it, and it's a 3/5. Well, those decks aren't going to be able to utilize the credit, and they want to go to face, and now they just have a unit that's going to more effectively trade into everything that they play and live.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more effective in that front. It's not very good against space decks. It's obviously good against Lando, but currently I've swapped them out. I'm not actually playing them in my list anymore. I'm playing the Obi ones,
Okay.
just to kind of see. So
It's a better
it's just
Caloran hit. Yeah.
yeah,
As
it's a
well.
better Caloran hit. It's just a better statted 3-drop. It's also immediate board impact with Sentinel. It's slightly better having 5 HP to follow up with for a Protect the Pod if needed. So
It can
it's
also help you maintain initiative if you're not using Fel's ability. Like if you go 2-drop, they
yeah,
2-drop, you
yep,
have better, more in deck the pod protect the pod in, not initiative, but like control, like you said. Like you're
yeah,
able to be the first one to pull the trigger. So
yep. So we're going around with that.
yeah,
We'll see. Yeah.
cool. I mean, like I said, you did great. I know we were talking about it because you and I drove down, but the meta is so wide that quite literally anything, including a Maul Virgin's Temple that Alex was just cooking with on the day, can do quite a bit of stuff. But
Yeah.
you'd be happy with the result. It there were some really good players out there, and there was no shortage of Aura and Boba in our local area. We had one Lando and one Obi-Wan, right?
I don't
Like
remember seeing any Lando or Obi-Wan. I just remember there
there
was a
was,
good amount of Aura Data Vault, which I kind of
yeah.
had predicted. I was just, yeah, it was just, yeah. In that fourth round, it was just unfortunate that I didn't get to play the Aura player, at least in my
Mhm.
opinion. But otherwise, Boba Data Vault, yeah, or Lake Country, excuse me, Boba Lake
Yeah,
Country. There was a
yeah.
lot of Boba as well.
There was quite a bit. We had a few, and they kept floating up and down through the top tables, but it was a good time. I played, like I said before, Intro Battle Hoth Vader. Uh, very surprised. Something I'd been kind of cooking up with a little bit by myself, but also mostly on the Lake Country version that I had been kind of working with a few folks in the community. Um, and I'll do some shout outs because that was something that was actually insanely important to me. But we'll get through the tournament run and then kind of do that at the end. Yeah. I had started with Boba Lake probably about a month ago, or not Boba Lake, Vader Lake, and I turned it into yellow. And the reasoning I started with this leader was just because paying for one base damage for one resource is not very good. But I really wanted to play Vader. It's just something I've done for a long time. And honestly, I think he's better than set 7 Vader. That's just my opinion. Going into the tournament, red yellow was the combination I wanted to go for because it's synergized better with how his actual leader side ability worked. Is you're a burn deck, so you're going to be playing things that deal indirect damage, Stygian Prime, things that tap down, exhaust, hand control. You have Devastator for top end, and a leader that if you look really far away at, actually deals 5 to base if he can hit their base. So those are some of the brief notes for that. But as for the tournament, round 1 was against a Aura Red. He was just a kid, new to the area. Or actually, he plays in Lincoln, he said. Him and his dad were there, and they were both really nice. He had said this was, I think, his third match ever. And I just... I felt bad. I put 2 Stygian Primes on something. And I was just like, you only got one unit, dude. I'm sorry. But yeah, that was a 2-0. Super sweet kid. Him and I chatted with him for a little bit about what his deck was, and he was super excited just to be there. So nice to see some new folks. Round 2, I played against John Smith that you had mentioned earlier. Another huge shout out here at the end for him. Who was on Aura Data Vaults. He's been playing Aura Data Vault before people knew it was good for like into Lando, but he liked the leader so much that he was ahead of the curve. He wasn't aware of that this Vader deck is just made to just take HP and dwindle them down as fast as possible. And dealing with Vader on his deploy turn is just something that's really hard to do. There was a matchup. I think it was the second game. It was the first game. He had 3 Cantwell Cruisers in his opening hand, and he's like, I can't play this, but I'm going to show you. And I'm like, I don't want you to see any of those for the rest of these games. And he didn't. So, which, yeah. Sorry, John. That was, I mean, we had a good time. We just kept joking about it. Great guy to play against.
Yeah, he's yeah. I was gonna say I played against him for the first time Friday before the event, and yeah, he's a great opponent. He's very fun to play against. Chill guy, Yeah,
he loves his blue-green villainy. So
yeah,
I'm excited to see some of the stuff that's coming out for him. Round 3, I played against a Boba Lake. I think his name was Lucas, if I remember correctly. I feel terrible. I don't have...
Right. That sounds right. Because you played the guy that Matt played in the last round, right?
Yes.
Yeah, his name was Lucas.
Yeah, super nice guy. Also from Lincoln in the area. He was, like I said, Boba Lake. Just games that the thing about the Boba Lake matchup for me is I have to make sure that if they start with Pride, I have to kill Pride, because Stygian Prime isn't live if he's got enough upgrade hate, and he doesn't know what's coming. No one knew what this Vader did or what was in my list. So that's the fun part about how Swiss works. But on 4 resources, he played Fett's Fire Spray. I played Stygian Prime. But he just didn't have a unit to deploy Boba to in the following 2 turns. We kind of, we went back and forth on it. That was round 3 and 2-0. But again, super awesome guy. He actually ended up doing really well. I think he ended at like 4-2. No. He was 3-3. But I told him he should be proud, and he's like, yeah, this is the best I've done. I'm like, sick, dude. That's great. He was playing at top tables almost all day.
Yeah, and I mean, he got up paired in the final round because 2 guys that knew each other decided to ID that second to last round instead of play to guarantee they're in. So they just waited to the last round to guarantee, and had to play Matt, who's a solid player from Kansas City.
Yeah. And that was actually my next round opponent.
Yeah, and like I said in that final round, Lucas there, he had like a 73% opponent match win percentage and going into that final round. So he was 100% in at X2 if he won.
Yeah. Yeah. He got once top 8 was announced, he was like, I think I played against all of you. I was like, yeah, you probably did. Yeah. Yeah, but round 4 Swiss, because we only had 6. I play against Matt. Actually, Matt was the guy who knocked me out of top 4 in set 5 at this PQ. Same store. So this was very bittersweet to get to play him again, except this time in Swiss. We went 2-1. I ended up getting it. Game 1 we're both going pretty quick. He's basically locked me out of board, and we're in this kind of not time frame, but like you can see checkmates on the board. I play a Zyton Maj, which, for those that don't know, it's a 4/5 that when you claim initiative, you can deal 2 damage to their base. I got him up to 31 HP on his data vault. We're going fast. He's got lethal in one more, or a following action. I play Zyton. He swings with 1 unit. I claim, and then he goes to swing with a unit, but I explained to him that because I claimed, the match was over. I did the last 2 damage. And it just kind of took a second for us both to be like, okay, we'll, get into the next one. It sucks because, he played that incredibly well. And then in game 2, that was the most brutal beatdown I've gotten in a long time. He did the Latrazi thing. He does his, or his ability to just ping you. Everything I played, I don't think I missed a 2-drop, but I felt like I didn't play a unit for the first 4 turns. And then I swiftly picked that one up, and we went to game 3. Where probably another insanely unfortunate thing happened on his behalf was we were getting to 8 resources. I have 2 devs in hand. I play a dev, and then he has to claim because he has no removal in his hand. So I've dealt 4 damage, and if this dev is allowed to swing, it'll push him really close to lethal. I do run aggressive, but I didn't have it in hand. He claims, he misses a removal spell. I hit his base for 9, puts him in lethal for the second dev, and that closes game 3. So truly, on the other end of it, just very unfortunate losses. But as you were saying, he ends to make top cut here as well. He plays a teammate in the next round. They ID, and then the last one he wins. The other part of that was that put me at 4-0. So I just ID'd the next 2 rounds because I wanted to go get food for one. I ended up playing against Michael Abraham in round 5. So him and I ID. He's like, let's go get canes for everybody. We grabbed canes for everybody to go just give, we didn't have a lunch break. We started at 11, but, get the team some food, give the judges some food, just kind of, it's a good day. Everyone's having a good time. And then last round, because him and I are basically locked, even at 4-1-1, I get up paired into Daniel and Daniel Hall. For those who don't know already, him and I just ID, so he go gets his own food. So I end Swiss at 4-0-2, locked for top 8, and just kind of, take a little bit to do some mental refocusing. I hadn't played for 2 rounds, so I was kind of off, the momentum. But I sit down and we play top 8. Top 8, I'm paired against Matt's friend Ryan, where we play Boba Lake. And I have initiative because of seeding. And game 1 goes to me. He couldn't remove a Stygian Prime for about 4 turns. That just removed, yeah. That's it. I feel that's the thing about the Boba Lake matchup I enjoy is that they shouldn't expect it coming, even if it's open deck lists. They have to hold something, which is fine. It just removes a ship for a whole turn. You're basically paying for at least 1 tap down, 2 damage, and then forcing them to answer the deal or answer the card. He played that really well. Game 1 I get. Game 2 goes to him very convincingly. I think he Cyril Karned me for everything I owned. And it's hard for me to get to discard sometimes. But game 3, I'm in the sideboards, everything we're doing. Stygian Primes come out because obviously he's going to put more upgrade hate in so that I can just continue to trade. And then, game 3 is, I go Codebreaker opening. I hit an axe off the Codebreaker. And then he played, I think it was BT1. I can't remember what 2-drop. Might have been Cyril. We claim, or pass, claim. Turn 2, I go Interrogation Droid to tap his turn 1 play. He discards a card. He plays a 4-2 droid missile platform. I bounce it with the droid or with the axe forgets, and from there the game kind of gets to be like weighted towards me. If he had an IG 2000 that turn, I could definitely see it being skewed back towards him. But he seemed to have not had him in most of the games we were playing. I am actually out of cards in hand going into 8 resources. So I draw one's a dev, one's another card. Resource. I play the dev, and I've put him in check in 2 lanes. And he said he made some resourcing errors, but there was just he said he had an out, but it just that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. He played it really well, and in all fairness, how do you prepare against this thing?
Yeah.
It's you know, I know Client Red kind of exists and Dedra Yellow exists, but like they're all different in their own right. So we got to top 4, where I got to play against Alex, who you played in Swiss. Alex has been, just like Michael and a few others, been working really hard on putting. Well, I actually said he don't think he was going to play Maul this tournament, but I think Marcus bought him a showcase, and he was like, "All right, I'm going to play Maul now." I was like, "You know what, dude? That's the best. That's the best thing you can do." I thought for the longest time, I'm like trained to think that as soon as he deploys that Maul, that I should expect a Maul's lightsaber to just run me over. But he had his own takes on this, and honestly, it was super cool. Virgin's Temple and no interaction to deal with those units like on their HP on that first turn is wickedly oppressive. Not to mention my units having 1 HP, so me just not being able to play them or keep him off the force. He got away with everything, and it was sick. It was sick to watch. We went to game 3. It came down to literally if I drew a pump, I could win, but I was 1 damage short on Virgin's Temple to like actually close it out. But he clutched it. It was pretty like the amount of like I think I drew a watch this right when I needed it and slowed him down for 1 turn, and then was like, all right, I can almost do this. But he got there. So where he was able to play against Daniel Hall in the final. It was just awesome to see. Those 2 in the final. I was just happy for Alex because, you know, I think he said this was his first top 8 at like an actual like PQ, if I'm not mistaken, which is huge, you know.
Yeah.
And then Daniel was on his P at Red. He had been cooking with for a little while. Just kind of a familiar thing he's played for a long time now, since Legends of the Force.
He's always gone back and forth,
right,
from it. Yeah,
Piet is fun. I don't blame him. I was a part of me that was tempted to do that because I did some silly things last minute on swapping the deck around. But no, we as a group had quite a few players there. I think there's like 12 in the photo. If not, I might be missing some. And then 4 into the top 8. All with some very competitive folks in town. We had Mickey was there, Matt was there, Ryan's really good. I know he goes to a bunch of the tournaments. I don't know much about Nate, but you know, if he played well enough to get there. So, yeah, all around great tournament. Store did a fantastic job. It was nice seeing everybody, and it was just a good time. So,
yeah. Quick note that I wanted to rewind to is with Alex. His only loss all day was to Daniel, because that's who he lost to in Swiss.
You know what? That's a familiar feeling. I know that well. Damn you, Daniel. Why do you got to win everything?
I know, yeah, and that's him on back-to-back PQ wins now too.
That is also crazy. He has somehow managed. He's not just a sector qualifier. He is not just a single large PQ winner. He is a 3-time PQ winner in 2 separate formats. and he now has 200 points at least to go to Vegas with. So,
yeah,
pretty freaking cool.
welcome back, Daniel.
Yeah, welcome back, Daniel. You just had to do this silly Piet thing. Man, testing against him up though, like the weeks leading up to this, I was like, I'm gonna have to figure out how to deal with this because if I run into him in Swiss, I just know I was gonna lose with what I was trying to play. And thankfully I avoided him. But or at least we ID'd on round 6. But yeah. I can't really think if there was much else about the event. Oh, all right. I'm gonna do the shout out real quick. 2 that I wanted to do. Well, 3. Alex, congratulations. That was awesome. Star Wars Unlimited does something that I think I've never seen in other card games as much as this one. Getting to play something unique and play it well is rewarded here, and you should feel proud about it. So kudos. B was John Smith. Congratulations. I mean, we already said this, but bubbling in at your first tournament after probably playing the game for 3 months now. Fantastic. I know you've got a card game background, but also like everything's different, and you played it really well, man. And then C, Marcus. Thank you for pushing me to play Vader a month and a half ago now, because we wouldn't have gotten here where we were without that motivation in the beginning. I was really struggling to find a deck to play when I came back into the game. And I just wanted to see if this guy could work, and you were like, dude, that's super cool. I was like, thanks, man. It meant a lot. So did some of that initial deck building there that day at the store, and it evolved into a meme and turned into a dream. So appreciate it, buddy. But yeah. Let's see. We ended the event. I think everybody got Carbonite packs and had some sick prizing. Which probably lead us to a next topic here. But for those who I guess want to check anything out, I'll throw deck lists down probably in the description below. If not, you can @ me or leave a comment and I can figure it out, because it's been a minute since we've done this YouTube game.
Well, speaking of pricing too, I mean, you should tell them what you got. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So here's the top 4 stuff was pretty stacked. I don't know if Mickey is ECL Mickey or Mac, or however you want to, he goes by many names. Awesome, great guy. What he pulled from his stuff in top 4. But I pulled 1 showcase in Swiss out of a normal pack. And then out of my 6 Carbonite packs, I pulled another showcase. This time it was a Saw, and I pulled a serialized Bosk. So that was pretty sick. I was on cloud 9, man. I got the meme to where I wanted it to. I got my little token that I wanted, and I walked away with about a couple $100 in cool cards. So, but Alex opened up a Darth Vader showcase for set 7. I have to buy it from him now. And Daniel opened his whole, because he got a whole box of Carbonite. He opened a Tobias showcase out of that box. So there was some pretty crack stuff in there. Good day, but yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. We're gonna take a minute on this one. Talk about another PQ coming up this weekend. I'm gonna, it's. I'm trying to make sure we do this nicely. I know stores are not always required to put more incentive to do well at these tournaments. There's not always giveaways. There's not always things that are included for free. There's not things that you're owed. That's how just things in life work. That being said, I think it's good incentive to get people to show up with kind of a heavier pricing if you can. it doesn't even have to be top end on winning. But we have a local PQ that, you know, it not I hate saying this, it's not local, but it's one of the closest ones to us, and that means it's 2.5 hours away. And some of their pricing is the free things you get from pre-releases. And to be frank with you, that's a little insulting. It goes as far as to say it's like there's criticism and there's constructive criticism, and I'm trying to be just constructive. But it is a little upsetting when there's packs included in these boxes that seem to be not anywhere listed on the prize payout. So I don't know if it's being used for just the sole purpose of drafting, and then you're paying $65 to get 6 packs. What is it? The token binder you get from the pre-release, a metal credit token that you get from the pre-release, and the Benthic Tube 2 promo.
Included.
Which is included.
Like given it, yeah.
Which is somewhere in the ballpark of about $30 or $35 that is going straight to the store with no other prizing allocation put anywhere else within top 8. I lied. There is soft crates, but I'm going to be honest with you, unless I see a picture that says those are the actual deck boxes, I'm going to assume those are the token ones that come with the pre-release kits. So unless I'm shown otherwise, I don't know yet, but we'll see. These are things that concern me that stores have done in the past. I hope this isn't a recurring behavior. I hope that the things I've suggested to them or the times I've tried to communicate to them are acknowledged or seen, because they've left me unread and not responded to anything I've talked to them about. So we'll just leave it at that. If they want to reach out to me, I'm more than happy to talk to them. But I don't think people should be playing in tournaments that cost $65 with no more payout than just the promos. That's just how I feel. But maybe FFG.
You need incentive. You need the incentive, because I mean, like, I get it. You know, $30 will cover your packs, but that's still $35 of unanswered costs. You don't know where it's going, and like if you don't see where that money is going, it feels like highway robbery. Just if you want people to come into your store, like, because you'll have a bunch of out of towners for PQs, right? Like this is the way that you can, you know, put yourself on the map, or just get people to, you know, come into your store, you know, make first impressions. First impressions last, and so it is important to, you know, try to get as many people to come, in my opinion, as you can. I mean, I know sometimes space is limited and you have to put restrictions, and that's fine. But it is just a matter of, I think we need to make sure that that's getting better handled moving forward, even from FFG, because I know even from the FFG front, with the fact that they randomly give PQs to stores, that's
where
like,
this is
I can understand want to
problem.
open it up and not like always give it to the same store all the time. Fair. But if you have wildly successful PQs or consistent PQs that are doing well, the player base is very clearly pleased with what's going on, and they're not going to get PQs every set, or at least every other set. Personally, I think you should, you know, give them every set. But like, if you want to open it up, you know, it's like a 3-month period, you know, where you have space to be able to, you know, just run more PQs, right? Like, I don't know what their margins are for how many they actually want to run. That's fine. But if they want to open up more stores, I think you could also just open up more PQs, and that way, you know, you get at least the bare minimum expectations that existed prior, and then you can experiment a little bit with new stuff. Um,
It
that's
just it and to further emphasize what you're saying, it doesn't do well by the players when their local store goes 4 months without the notice of a tournament that they get to host, or that they hosted one last time. And I like that the stores are doing variations in formats. That's a plus. Moving product for them, fantastic. And limit in this game is fantastic as well. But it brings a very discerning taste, because like Secrets of Power, the only local PQ to us here in Nebraska is Lincoln, and they didn't get one. So at bare minimum, I'm driving 2+ hours to any PQ. And even if we have a store that can host it here in Omaha, it feels like at least give one to Lincoln. Our whole state went without one in the Secrets of Power meta. Like, that's just crazy. I'm sure the Colorado folks, I'm sure anybody west of us would be appreciative of something somewhere. And I know maybe there's not a store there to do so, but like, come on.
Yeah, like the fact, like for this set at least, the fact that Des Moines, for example, didn't get a PQ to me is wild.
Yeah.
Because I think those in particular, everyone has been very pleased with, in regards to how they've been run, pricing that's been offered for them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just really weird. But I think there does need to be an element of
Consistency.
FFG needs to have a little bit more insight of what's going on at some of the PQs, or they need to put a mandate of these are the bare minimum things that need to be offered. So that way, going into an event, you can know the bare minimum of what pricing is offered.
No. And I reached out to stores all over the country that host these larger PQs I wanted to make sure I'm not just sitting here falsifying these claims that this store is withholding something. I want to make sure that if people are doing this, they're not taking advantage of the players who are already spending an astronomical amount of money to just play, travel, or just stay there. Like, for a night, hotels, gas, food. Like, come on.
Yeah, because I mean, if you don't live local, especially with gas prices now, which are a
Yeah.
whole other thing, but like $65 for entry, you know, I'd say a reasonable distance would be a tank of gas there and back, like total. So half a
Yeah.
tank each way is like a pretty easy day trip, right?
That's a splittable thing too, but it's
Yeah, but I mean, if it's a full tank of gas, I mean, you're looking at like $100 right there, assuming you're not sharing gas,
mm,
um, and that adds up, especially if you're doing it multiple weekends in a row.
yeah.
Plus, yeah,
But also, this shouldn't be the case where someone's only choice is to go and just get absolutely just destroyed in the regards of like how terrible of a financial decision this is. Like, it's a card
yeah,
game, it's a hobby. We already know it's expensive. And I'm not saying that stores shouldn't make their money, because ultimately the store is the most important infrastructure in the entirety of all of these hobbies. They don't exist without them. But also, this is why some of them don't exist for long amounts of time. They do things that just don't set well with the player base. They don't set things with the folks who want to interact with their events. So, like I said,
yeah.
I
I mean, I'd love to be able to come back and say that it was just poor communication and that's all it was.
hope so.
Um,
I really
like
do.
if make do, but I mean, hey, communication is a very important part of running large events like this.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they can learn from that, great. But I think part of it just has to be brought up because we've got this one coming up, and I know there was concern, a lot of concern with prior ones as well, or a particular one prior that was limited as well, where it's just the prizing seems very irrelevant, and it's a high entry fee, and it's just it's all about incentives, and you want to make it worth people's while to
Hmm.
to go, and you don't want to deter people from going because of
Yeah.
uh, what's offered.
And I'm gonna also just to end this, I understand that some of these stores may not be able to offer more. So I want to make sure that it's clear, is because I'm not trying to sit here and just bag and bag and bag on this store about this, but I want to make sure that if I try to communicate with them about maybe if there's a reason for this, or if they're willing to talk about it, then at least like share with the folks that are. I just want the logic, I guess. And maybe that's not something I'm owed, like I said at the beginning of this. But if I'm going to spend that much, I mean, it'd be $150 at least between food, gas, and registration just to play in this event. And it's just not going to happen for me, which is unfortunate.
Right.
Which means I only get one PQ this entire set release, because those are the only two within driving distance that I could make.
Yep.
And
so
a lot of folks in our area shared the same sentiment with me this last Saturday, who basically just need points to go to Galactics. So they're going to bite the bullet and do what they can to win at this event. And, kudos to them for that to me is more impressive than basically everything else I've seen so far about what this event is going to be. And if anybody who is listening to this video can or has the ability to point me in the direction of someone who can maybe like look into this, awesome. Or if they want to reach out, I'm happy to listen. I'm happy to just chat, because there's something I feel like it just doesn't feel right. I'm not even going to this thing, but I just feel bad for you, and I feel bad for everyone else that is, and that's not how this game should be. I think
we were talking about this on at the PQ about like, even if I were to do well in an event and not get sufficient pricing, I don't care about that. I really don't. Like, oh cool, I get more cards or whatever, right? It's gonna sit in my apartment and collect dust a lot of the time, right? But it's more the meaning of it, right? It feels like there's something's wrong, and you just don't like unjust things to happen, right? Yeah. Like you want to remediate that, and we want to be advocates for the game, the community, and it feels like this is contrary towards that goal.
Here's just a benchmark. I think the sector qualifier costed less. I think every sector I think Worlds costed less.
It depends it depends what entry. I think Worlds is usually on par. It's usually like 65 is the minimum, isn't it?
Which should not be the case. And even if you add in those 5 packs that come as part, or 6 packs that come part of the sealed that you guys are doing, that $35 gap to me still just doesn't settle well. But hopefully you guys do have a good event. Hopefully there is just a miscommunication. Hopefully there is a payout of prizes, that even if it's just regular packs, but those metal credit tokens and token binders I'll just leave it at that.
And what I'll say too is, please, stores, do not give out store credit for PQ prizing. You have out of towners that are then going to have to spend that, and
maybe they don't have soup products.
You're then also having to charge taxes on top of the store credit that they're getting. Just give them the product.
I'm okay with some portions of that as long as it's done well. I understand that I had this exact situation. I traded in some of those cards I won this past Saturday. Lincoln's not a drive, but I'm not going to go drive back and forth to spend $50 in credit I have. It's just not worth it.
Yep.
but
But
also,
that's fine in your scenario
yeah,
because like you got product and you want to trade it in, they'll give you store credit. That's
yes,
like
yes, that's yeah.
that is a
I'm
normal
yeah,
store situation. But I'm like,
yes,
if you're just getting digital currency basically for your result,
yeah,
I mean, you have to spend it all there first of all,
yeah,
and then you're getting taxed on it on top of that. And like,
yeah.
I mean, traditionally tournaments
Cash payout
for
would
that
be.
as an event aren't meant to be taxable. Like
Mhm.
they're very particularly done so that people aren't getting charged tax on top of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'll leave it at that because it makes me it gets me a little riled up. But eh, what can you do in all reality? If they don't listen or they don't answer, all you can hope is they just don't get another PQ. So and that goes for both FFG listening and the store. So I
yep.
guess we'll see. On the bright side, Mandalorian Grogu comes out in less than 24 hours. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go see that. I'm gonna get myself some sick promos.
Oh, are you
Um,
going to the Westroads location for the promos?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't like AMC, but I wanted promos. So
I was
is
gonna
me.
say, you want to take Lindsay with you and get me extra promos?
That is already happening. So
Yeah.
yes, Eric was also like, "Are you gonna get some extras?" I'm like, I should have a couple sets. We'll see. I might be able to get out of there with 5. I got a decent amount of family going with me, but
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
I was gonna
uh,
say because I remember getting like a weird poster for the Last Jedi premiere,
mm,
uh, and uh, yeah, it was little. I was like,
yeah.
oh, I didn't even realize they give this, and wasn't even like particularly. I don't even remember what it was. It was like mostly a background.
Yeah. For your favorite Star Wars movie, right?
But yeah,
Yeah. Um, Other things going on in the Swooniverse. Oh man, we had a huge KTOD guys did a shout out for us. I sent in a community spotlight because they always do that on their Friday episodes, and um, Bobby and Justin were both talking about having more episodes. So hopefully we can get back to something of a schedule. I know that word exists, but I'm not holding myself to it. Um, we just enjoy doing this. There's at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. If we can, we'll do it more often. Like I said, I'll try and have a Vader video out this week. But yeah, I don't think
yep.
I mean, there's also a whole bunch of cool set 8 spoilers coming out, but that might be a topic for another video.
Yeah, we'll have to get that down the line, and I know it's on my to have some initiative to be able to also uh be able to technically run the
The
pod
setup.
so I can have guests on and
That's fair.
not restricted to Adam and Michael's schedules who are very busy. So that way and shout out to Derek from Central Spacers. We got to get you on and just
Just
go
ramble.
on for an hour. Yeah, just ramble, just
It's what
talk
we do
everything
best.
all. Yep.
That, and we got to get Daniel on because he won the event.
Yep.
We gotta some catching up, some tidying up, but I'm proud of
Yep.
everybody this weekend. You all did fantastic. There was a point at round 4, or round 3, round 4. Just looking at the Swiss standings it was like away, 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 and everybody was doing well. It was awesome. I just kept thinking, I'm like, wow, we did it. We did a pretty good job. But yeah. Have anything else you wanted to touch on?
I think that's all I have.
Okay. Well, we're shooting for about 45 minutes. We got to an hour and 10, but we were also like, whatever happens.
Adam likes to ramble a lot. I mean, I do too. But
look, man,
yeah,
intro battle Vader Hoth did it. Okay, we have to talk about it. No, I'm just kidding. But,
no. Yeah, it was just I mean, let us know. I know we ramble. If you need stuff a little bit more concise, let us know. If you're like, these are too long. We'll see what we can do. No promises at all, because like Adam says, we just like to do this. It's kind of just us talking about Star Wars and running through things. So if it's 2 hours, you don't have to listen to the whole thing. So
no, but you will. I hope. Maybe you enjoyed a good meal with this video. That's all I care about at the end of the day, is that if you sit and listen to this with food, tell us what you eat, because I love food. I might have some cereal after this. I don't know why. Sounds yummy. Yeah. We will catch you guys in the next one.
All right, see you.
Bye.